tonight on News 5 Live. 10 years after that fateful night that claimed the life of Lyndon Morrison, his ex-girlfriend, Kalani Flowers, is headed back to court for a retrial. NEMO issues its first warning on a weather system that has formed in the Eastern Caribbean. Government says one final attempt at resolving sugar impasse or else. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Great Belize Productions Channel 5, proud winner of 9 Caribbean Media Awards for 2021. Best Investigative Report, Best News Item, Best Coverage of People with Disabilities, Best Financial Literacy Journalism, Best Videographer, Best Television Commercial Spot, and the People's Choice Award, with 2 special mentions for Financial Literacy Journalism.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
Life can be tough when a loved one suddenly departs. Dependents of the deceased are sometimes left alone to pick up the pieces and may be stranded financially. Fortunately, the Social Security Board provides survivor's benefit to ease the burden. Survivor's benefit is paid to a widow or widower, children under 18 years, or up to 21 years if attending school, or dependent parents. A survivor's benefit can be either a grant or a pension. Want to know more about survivor's benefit? Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
It's spooky season, and I've got the scoop for you. If you are on the hunt for a new Samsung device, then look forward to some scarily big savings on the full A-Series and S-Series lineup, with phones starting at a scarily low price of just $349 and Galaxy Tabs for only $439. Plus, all devices are protected with a 1-year local warranty. The awesome Galaxy lineup includes the A03 Core, A03, A13, A22, A23, A33, A52s, A53, S20FE, S21FE, S22, S22 Plus, S22 Ultra, and the newly released Galaxy Fold 4 and Galaxy Flip 4 phones. Only at any Samsung authorized resellers, including Cellular World, Dibari, Digi, and Westrat, and grab yourself a spooky deal on your next upgrade with Samsung's Spooky Savings Promotion.
On Friday, October 7th, the stars will be shining over the Belize Civic Center when the Bennis Inter-Office Basketball League presents the Ian Mariano's All-Star Classic in collaboration with Racina's Import. The Belize Civic Center will be a night of glamour, glitz, and celebration, where the prime-time superstars from the IBL will be entertaining you, the fans. It all begins at 7:30 p.m. with the top guys from the 10 teams competing in the Boulevard Store Skills Challenge. Then at 8 p.m., this is why I'm hot. The hottest sharpshooters from their respective teams will compete in the Cellular World 3-point shootout.
Let's get ready to rumble!
8:30 in the night, the high flyers in the likes of Lindsey Young and Gregory Fisher from Grace Kennedy, Jason Ellis from Coast Guard, Michael Goff from HRCU, and Brighton Augustine from Coast Guard will be dunking their way to a possible 2022 Prestige Auto Sales London Champion. The grand finale will be at 9 p.m.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar.
The top 12 prime-time superstar players from Division A, led by Devin Daly and Glency Cooper Lopez, will take on the top 12 superstars from Division B, led by Francis Arana and Ian Renee, in a monster showdown in the Ian Mariano's All-Star Classic. This is as big as it gets.
Just another level!
Bring with the entire family for a night of fun and entertainment and ton loads of giveaway. Sponsors: Racina's Imports, BMW Supermarket, Mahim Wholesale, Barefoot Hotel, Cabana Used Clothing, Midway Wholesale, Mirage Belize, Car Guys, Harris Import, Prestige Auto Sales, The Little World, Ocean Storm, VIP Wireless, Nando's Wholesale, Benny's Home Center, Crystal Water, Right, Our Aid, Ramblers, Channel 5 and Channel 7, Rem, Wave, Love FM and More FM. Let's get it on!
Start your engines now for the National MSME Roadshow, geared towards building the resilience of MSMEs and developing a national MSME directory. Sign up for this 3-day event filled with intensive boot camps, presentations, MSME support and formalization clinics, pop-up shops, and more to help you develop and promote your business. The National MSME Roadshow will be in Corozal starting August 24th, Orange Walk August 31st, Belize City September 7th, Punta Gorda September 14th, Key Cocker September 22nd, Belmopan September 28th, San Ignacio and San Helena on October 5th, Dangriga October 12th, Placencia October 19th, and closes in San Pedro from October 26th. Learn more and sign up for the National MSME Roadshow by visiting the Beltrade Facebook page or call or WhatsApp us at 613-5139. And let's get your business on the road.
We're ready for the road.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
And welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, October 6th. I am Sabrina Daly. 10 years after the horrific death of 29-year-old Lyndon Morrison, his former girlfriend, Kalani Flowers, is headed to court once again for a retrial. Viewers would recall that on March 24, 2017, after 5 years in pretrial detention, Flowers was acquitted of the charge of murder. At the time, Justice Trodio Gonzalez, who presided over the matter, found no evidence to confirm that Morrison's death was the result of a murder. Morrison, a flight dispatcher who was employed with Maya Island Air, was mowed down while riding his motorcycle along Freetown Road on the night of August 28, 2012. He was with his new girlfriend, Xochitl Sosa, who was riding on the back of the motorcycle. The impact of the collision, which was caused when the vehicle driven by Kaleni Flowers, a former bank teller, rammed into the motorcycle, flung Morrison to his death and severely injured Sosa. In the wake of the deadly encounter, Flowers was charged for murder and remanded to the Belize Central Prison for 5 years before the case was concluded. Following her acquittal, Flowers migrated to the United States, where she was subsequently held in detention for committing an immigration offense. In 2019, however, the Court of Appeal handed down a ruling in her favor, dismissing an application by the Director of Public Prosecutions to appeal the Supreme Court verdict. The matter was taken to the Caribbean Court of Justice, which referred the case back to the Court of Appeal. Madam Justice Hafiz Batram and Justices Foster and Balkan, in their disposition, concluded that the trial judge erred in law by failing to consider whether the respondent, Kaleni Flowers, possessed an intention sufficient to support the alternative offense of manslaughter, as specifically required by Section 126(1) of the Indictable Procedure Act. The judgment of the Court of Appeal was handed in a 17-page document. For reference, we take you back to the Morrison family's reaction when the initial decision was handed down by the Supreme Court.
It's very shocking. The judge actually agreed that the evidence said that that was the car that killed my brother and hit Xochitl. So we had expected at least, if he had come to that conclusion, maybe a manslaughter charge, but he just dismissed the case and said that, oh well, he knows cases like this will definitely go to appeal. So it's very, very, very disappointed.
I can see the reaction on your mother's face, and this seems to have reopened a wound all over again. Have you guys had a chance to discuss this outcome prior to coming to court in the event that this would have actually materialized?
Well, we had definitely, because you have to try and prepare, you know, that's the only thing you can do, but we had discussed two ways, either the murder or manslaughter, but we definitely wasn't prepared for a case being thrown out, you know, definitely never prepared for this.
The Crown was represented by Shaniza Smith, while Flowers was represented by attorney Anthony Sylvester. The National Meteorological Service of Belize and the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, is monitoring a potential tropical cyclone located just north of Venezuela. Referred to as PTC-13, the system is moving westward at 15 miles per hour and is likely to make landfall in Nicaragua and Honduras by Sunday morning. NEMO's latest advisory says the system is expected to weaken rapidly as it moves over mountainous terrain after it makes landfall. In that event, it is not expected that Belize will be affected by strong winds. However, NEMO noted that Belize will likely experience heavy rainfall and flooding, especially in southern Belize. The potential tropical cyclone is expected to strengthen when it moves over the southwestern Caribbean Sea over the next couple days. NEMO says rainfall amounts are likely to peak on Monday with daily totals of about 4 to 6 inches or higher. Rain is expected before the system makes landfall, which could lead to flooding. In a worst-case scenario, the center of the system could change its current trajectory more towards the north. In this event, a hurricane would make landfall in Belize by Monday. But according to NEMO's latest advisory, this is less likely a scenario. They are advising Belizeans to review their family emergency plans and to check on the elderly and people with disabilities. NEMO is also advising against out-district travel for the long weekend. You can stay up to date with these advisories on NEMO's Facebook page. In mid-September, we told you about a strain of avian influenza that was detected in the poultry industry in the north. In the wake of its detection, 8 farms, 7 in Blue Creek and 1 in Shipyard, had to be quarantined. In the case of 2 of the farms, the chickens were destroyed and the farms sanitized, while the other 6 remained under quarantine. Since then, biosafety measures were put in place, and tonight, the news is that no more positive cases have been detected.
After the farms were detected, the index farms are referred to, we did the necessary depopulation, and we did further testing. Up to now, we have had no more positive cases of avian influenza. So that's where we are right now. The farms that we found the disease in, those farms are being cleaned out, and other measures taken, the biosafety measures. So that seems to have been working well. We have no further infections, no further incidences of the disease so far.
Millions of dollars in losses have been recorded for the poultry industry in the north, but Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo May says that the country will not experience any shortage in poultry products since the Spanish lookout producers will pick up the slack. While the country had battled a similar case of bird flu back in 2016, but it was Spanish lookout producers that were affected that time, how did the virus enter the country? Minister May says that it is believed that the disease came through infected eggs, and so there are changes being made in the testing process.
Broilers are short-lived birds. 6 weeks, 7 weeks of slaughtering. So we had to, what we have to do now is to do testing at day 1 chicks, because we suspect that the disease came in through infected eggs. We suspect. Those tests are still waiting for, we're still waiting for the results, I think. But we were doing long-lived birds, layers, the spent hens, all these long-lived birds. We were never testing the day-olds. So now we have to shift how we do things based on what we've seen today, the experience we have today. We do no testing on day-old chicks, so that if we catch the disease right there and then. So you won't test a broiler 6 weeks, 7 weeks when you're ready to slaughter, because that bird has gone all through its life cycle actually. Then you slaughter for it to be dressed, just wait and ready for market. So we do at day 1, so if we capture the disease, it's going to be there and then. So we are intensifying and doing things different based on the experience we had this time. Of course, biosecurity is always the best. You have a disease, isolate, implement your protocols, and you should be fine.
The impasse between the Sugarcane Farmers Association and the millers continue. All efforts to come to an agreement ahead of the 2022 sugar crop season have been futile, and as we found out today, the Briceño administration is setting down its foot. According to Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo May, one last attempt will be made to bring the parties to the discussion table for a resolution. If that fails, GOB will take an active decision.
At the last meeting of the Northern Caucus, where the Sugarcane Farmers Association briefed the caucus on the negotiations, the Prime Minister asked that they meet for a last time to make an attempt to try to come up with an agreement. I was in a meeting again yesterday with the BACFA, and the reports are that that last attempt has failed. So I was prepared to brief Prime Minister today on that meeting. And so we are back at square one. Nevertheless, the Prime Minister and the press release from the caucus a couple of weeks ago stated that there must be an agreement before the end of this month. And so, as I leave this meeting today, I'm going to push forward right now to make arrangements to come up for a date that they must sit in a room and they must come up with something. That is the Prime Minister's directive. If that fails, then government will have to take a more proactive approach to end this situation. It cannot go on forever.
Are Belizeans still at risk of paying a higher price for a 16-ounce pack of bread? That is a decision that will be made by Cabinet at the start of the new year when the bread subsidy expires. Earlier this year, bakers announced that they would have to increase the cost of the 16-ounce pack of bread, which is regulated by law. The increasing cost of wheat on the international market, specifically due to the issues between Ukraine and Russia, was trickling down to the bakers, and their cost of production for the basic commodity was up. The government of Belize provided a subsidy to the bakers to ensure that consumers were not affected. But that subsidy expires in December. Minister of Food Security, Jose Abelardo Mai, told the media today that the world price for wheat has been on a downward trend.
That's a matter that Cabinet will have to decide. Right now, we are monitoring the price of wheat on the world market. We are in very close communication with those who import wheat. But I must tell you that the last information I received is that the price of wheat was going down in the world market, which is good news. If it's going down to what it used to be, I do not know. But that's why we're monitoring the prices. Our supplies control team is always out there looking at the information coming in and feeding us with it so that Cabinet can make an intelligent decision on this matter.
Coming up, 6 Belize City residents are charged for being members of gangs. Details when we return.
Hi, I am Dr. Elsie Constanza. I'm a pediatrician and neonatologist. I work at the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit at Carhushner Memorial Hospital Authority and at Northern Medical Specialty Plaza. Like other vaccines, few persons may present with reactions. Vaccines are safe. Get protected. Get vaccinated.
¿Reúnes los requisitos para la amnistía 2022? Esta es tu oportunidad de aplicar. En el sitio web www.immigration.gov.bz encontrarás una lista completa de todos los documentos necesarios para la amnistía según los criterios para los que eres elegible. Asegúrese de reunir todos los documentos generales y de respaldos necesarios y las traducciones necesarias. Haz tu cita en línea con cualquiera de nuestros centros de registro a nivel nacional. Ahí presentarás tus documentos y completarás las entrevistas requeridas. Después, se te entregará un recibo de aceptación. Mientras esperas una decisión sobre tu solicitud, puedes seguirlo en línea y saber cuándo será el pago en la oficina de tesorería del gobierno más cercana. Una vez completa, recibirás tu tarjeta de residencia permanente que muestra tu estado legal en Belice. Obtenga más información sobre la amnistía 2022 y cómo presentar tu solicitud en línea en www.immigration.gov.bz. Prepárate, el plazo de inscripción será del 2 de agosto al 30 de noviembre de 2022. Amnistía de Belice 2022. Continuemos construyendo Belice juntos.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Six Belize City men from various neighborhoods have been arrested and charged for the crime of being a member of a gang. Earlier today, 20-year-old Jahid Shamar Baptist, a baker of Racecourse Street address, was taken into police custody where he was charged for his alleged membership in one of several criminal organizations operating the city. Sometime later, 22-year-old Sean Anthony Humes was also detained and charged for being a member of a gang. Humes resides on Wagner's Lane. Likewise, Clifford Anderson Jr. of Mackenzie Lane was also rounded up and slapped with a similar charge. Enrique Bermudez, 19-year-old Jahail Craig, and 23-year-old Marquise Conarchy of CET site has also been charged for being gang members. On Saturday night, sometime around 11 p.m., police responded to an area along the Branchmouth Road in Cayo District where they observed 34-year-old Roquelino Ortega suffering from an apparent gunshot injury to the body. Ortega was reportedly traveling on his motorcycle from Santa Familia to San Ignacio. Upon arriving at the Hammock Bridge, the security guard was accosted by three men. Ortega was shot once, and the Honda motorcycle he was riding was also stolen. In an update to that story, 26-year-old Jaleel Burns, a security guard of Central Farm Cayo District, has been arrested and charged for handling stolen goods. The charge follows the discovery of a red and white Honda motorcycle belonging to Roquelino Ortega. Students of St. Mary's Primary School, who from the start of the school year have had to travel over to Mahogany Street to have classes in the Samuel Haynes Institute of Learning, have reportedly settled into their new learning environment. News 5 caught up with the general manager of Anglican School, Dr. Jeremy Cayetano, who gave us an update on how classes are going.
From what we are seeing, students are adapting to the space. We are grateful, I need to say that, to the Ministry of Education, because they are providing bus transportation from St. Mary's School currently to Samuel Haynes and back. So they have made it much easier for us to do the transition. Infant 1 through to Standard 1. Right now they are in the church, but the buildings, well, we are already expecting the buildings anytime now. One of the wooden buildings for classroom is ready, and the office. We are awaiting a permit from the Central Building Authority to transport them. That's all. We believe at the end of 2 years, or by the end of 2 years, our students will be safely back at the St. Mary's compound. We are working closely with the Ministry of Education, putting in our application to SIF. Hopefully that goes through, and we'll be able to rebuild the classroom sections of the building.
In 2021, St. John's College was granted a license to operate as a 4-year institution, now making it one of 3 tertiary-level educational institutions that offer undergraduate and graduate studies in Belize. But how has expanding the capacity of SJC from a 6th form affected the country's national college, the University of Belize? The Minister of Education, Francis Fonseca, says not at all.
UB is making great strides under the leadership of Dr. Vincent Palacio. We have new leadership there. We have a new sense of purpose, new energy. We have a very good board of directors. So I think UB is making great strides. And I certainly had consultations with the chairman of the university and the president before supporting the application from St. John's College to become a four-year institution. And then we all felt that, listen, UB needed to do more, UB needed to do better. So we want to push them, we want to encourage them, we want to motivate them. And so, you know, they see what's happening at SJC as an opportunity for them to say to their team, we have to do more, we have to work harder. So I think that's, you know, providing greater opportunities for Belizeans through SJC is an excellent opportunity. That does not take away at all from the great work that is taking place at the University of Belize.
Do you think UBIDO can withstand the competition, especially in its humanities area? Because, you know, for humanities, that's in Belmopan.
No, absolutely, absolutely. UB, you know, UB has strong enrollment, and I can tell you that, you know, every single day at the Ministry of Education, we hear from students who need support and want assistance to attend the University of Belize. I think UB has established a very good high standard in the humanities in particular, and I think that will continue to be the case. So I think, you know, they have a very good reputation, and I think students will continue to be attracted to the University of Belize.
COVID taught us that in the face of a global health debacle, life needed to progress, even when the pandemic restricted us from interfacing with each other. The digital and technological era somewhat rescued the world from total collapse. We learned quickly how to communicate more using social media platforms and Zoom conferences. Education relied heavily on these media. Today, All Saints Primary School in Belize City, the Ministry of Education handed over 10 new projectors that would complement that novel type of classroom interaction. News 5's Marin Ali was there and has this report.
The 10 projectors that Minister of Education, Francis Fonseca, handed over to All Saints School is a part of a project to equip schools in every district with the tools they need to learn in this era. Fonseca alluded to the use of more technological devices as the foundation of the revised curriculum.
We can't put in place new policies, new structures, and not equip our schools with the tools they need to deliver the kind of education we want them to deliver. So this is a part of that commitment, making sure that we're equipping our students, our teachers, the classrooms with the capacity to deliver education that is grounded in technology.
General Manager of Anglican Schools, Dr. Jeremy Cayetano, and All Saints Principal, Colin Estrada, agreed that teachers who got their knowledge using a different method of learning are open to the new way of learning.
We are in a technological era, and we are grateful that the administration and the staff, they're embracing it so that they will be able to engage the students at this level.
It is not saying that how it will exclusively be the projectors or exclusively be the whiteboard. They intertwine together, and so teachers will be able to use them complementarily.
There's no way to but getting each and every school connected is where the challenge lies.
There's still too many communities in our country that don't have access to reliable, adequate internet services, for example. So if you don't have Wi-Fi, you know, there's very little you can do with technology. So that's why we launched, as you all will remember, this very big project called Connect Ed, making sure that all across this country we are equipping our schools with reliable internet services.
The projectors are valued at $14,000. Minister Fonseca said that additional ones will be given to the school in the weeks to come. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
After the break, paved road coming to the entrance of Guinea Grass Village. But first, here's the weather forecast from the Belize Met Service.
V-Bucks by Benny's, Belize's newest multi-brand rewards program. To access V-Bucks, download the mobile app or access the website portal at vbucks.bz and set up your account.
If you already have a Benny's account, chances are you already have V-Bucks. Don't let them go to waste. To earn V-Bucks, make a purchase at any Benny's location or at any of these Benny's entities, namely Island Freight Forwarders, Best Manufacturing, Benquip, and B-Mart. Once V-Bucks are earned, reward yourself. Use V-Bucks to buy items or exchange for cash. You can also double, triple, or even quadruple your V-Bucks on promotional days. It is simple. Purchase, earn, redeem. Loyalty is always rewarding with V-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
So here we have 2 households, 2 kids doing what kids do, and 2 loads of stained covered laundry. One uses regular detergent, but only Fab has tough stain lifting power.
Wait, really? That's right. To get rid of all types of stains, use Fab. Adding Fab laundry detergent to the wash not only fights the toughest stains, but the colors won't fade. And Fab leaves clothes smelling fantastic. So pass it on.
Because your family deserves the best in laundry care. Fab, taking care of your laundry so you can take care of your family. Find it at your nearest store. Exclusively distributed by Big Limited.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
Residents of Guinea Grass are up in arms over the deplorable road conditions in the village and clamoring for repairs. For years, the main road through the community has needed serious refurbishment. Today, Orange Walk South Area Representative Jose Abelardo Mai told the media that the cries of the villagers have been heard, and GOB has recently awarded a contract to a company in Spanish Lookout to pave the main road through the village.
I hear and I feel for the people of Guinea Grass. I have been in the area for 2 years, not even 2 years. And during the time that I've been in the area, we have given maintenance to that road for about 10 times. And I will say this, throwing good money behind bad money, because that road has been abandoned for 13 long years under the previous government. It's when we came in that we took it seriously. I will say to you though, already a contract has been issued to a company that will do 1 mile, 1.2 miles, I believe, 1.3 miles, entering the village and exiting the village, the entire length of the village. That section will be paved now. We hope to start that in the next few weeks. That contract has been awarded to a company out of Spanish Lookout, I believe it is. So while the criticism is strong, I don't agree with it, but I understand the complaints. I've been on that road a lot. I campaigned that road, so I know the situation. And that is the reason why the Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, said that we have to do something about that road, and we will pave that road in the very near future. But to begin with, we have another contract right now, which is to upgrade all the roads that are in bad conditions.
According to Minister Mai, the contract focuses on upgrading farm roads. Works are already underway on the road from San Carlos to San Felipe and from San Felipe into Hillbank. These roads lead to thousands of acres of grain farms in these communities. A lot of effort has been put into developing resilient farms and ensuring that local produce is at top quality for consumers and the local markets. But our local farmers have been facing challenges with market access. So the Ministry of Economic Development, through its Resilient Rural Belize program, today signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Belize Marketing and Development Corporation. The primary objective of the MOU is to improve BMDC's agricultural market price information system that would link the agro producers to potential buyers. The value is $40,000. Signing on behalf of the ministry and BMDC were CEOs Dr. Osman Martinez and Sir Vilobaiza.
BMDC is the arm of the ministry that is in charge of marketing, making sure that the produce from our local producers get to the consumers. We have, I would say, if there's a weak link in terms of our value chain, that is where it is. So we certainly appreciate all the assistance that we're getting from RRB to be able to strengthen our marketing component. They will help in terms of the agri-links, our website that we have, certainly to disseminate the information that is available there, both to consumers and to the consumers and to the producers, training for our farmers, and certainly training in terms of the use of the website. Other components in terms of the SWOT analysis, to look at BMDC, to look at what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of the corporation, and to see how we can improve on them. Our farmers are very good producers. They are able to produce good quality products, but it is of no use if we can't get it to the people who will consume them. So our local market, our tourism market, and hopefully in the future with this standardization and quality, we can also be looking at exporting.
Our Belizean agro producers, especially the MSMEs, small agro producers, they know how to produce. They have proved themselves. Their problem is that they have experienced lack of support from every sector, including government. And this is a good opportunity to show that Plan Belize is committed to help rural development as well. And when you look, for example, at the marketing component that we have signed today, it will definitely help the rural producers to be able to access a fair share of monies in terms of trading their products, because a lot of times they have been abused practically, where they have worked really hard, but they don't know how to market their product, and someone else always come and do it for them. So in addition that they will learn how to do marketing, it will also assist them in terms of proper development.
RRB Program Manager Geraldo Flowers and BMDC Director Valentin Carrillo witnessed the signing. The RRB program aims to introduce climate-resilient agricultural practices that allow smallholder farmers to operate using sustainable production processes, even under the stress of extreme climate events. While with CEO Dr. Osman Martinez, we asked for an update on how much has been invested so far from Resilient Rural Belize program, which is funded by the Green Climate Fund. He says that only 12.5% of the $40 million fund has been used thus far.
So far, it has been invested about $5 million out of 40 million Belize that the program has. Remember, we were about to lose this program. When we were in Glasgow, you were there, we had to actually be aggressive in negotiating to retain this program. If not, we were about to lose $40,000. And the most important component on this project is that more than 50% of it comes from GCF funds, and is the first GCF project in the region, not only in Belize, in the Caribbean region.
Today at the Belize Agricultural Health Authority office in Belmopan, the U.S. government handed over approximately $500,000 towards the fruit fly eradication program. It is part of an agreement that started 7 years ago and focused on financial and technical support to Baja, aimed at keeping out the very invasive and destructive Mediterranean fruit fly, which is present in Central America. Since the program started, there has not been a medfly outbreak in the country, and this has helped to ensure our food security. The monies were used for the eradication program, as well as to purchase 2 pickup trucks for the quarantine program. Today, a brief handing over ceremony was held.
The Petén region and Belize are for lack of a better word, the front line of against this pest that which serves as protection for the upper half of the Americas, which includes all of Belize, northern Guatemala, all of Mexico, and the United States. So hence the reason that we get that level of support to be able to keep the medfly at bay, keep it in Central America, and even push it back with a broader program in Guatemala as part of a tri-national program, supported also by Mexico and the United States.
Yes, we've had a formal MOU for about 6 or 7 years, but this is long-term for decades. And this is one of those programs that is kind of under the radar, because the whole key is to keep a problem from happening, right? So you can't prove a negative, and the fact that you have said that there has not been a medfly outbreak, that those have been able to be contained, has been so important. I'm not a technical expert, but the money we provide does so many things that are behind the scenes. It's investing in food security, it's investing in prosperity for farmers and for exports for Belize, it's providing jobs for those industries. And so this investment in agriculture is something we are very proud of at the U.S. government.
We are grateful for the support that the U.S. has done today. They have been doing so for the last 6 years in terms of this bilateral agreement. Every year they give us a check. Every year it's growing a little.
It grew a lot this year.
This year it grew much more. And I'm certain that our good friend from the US government, Ms. Andy de Armand, is going to work harder for these checks to grow more and more every year. We are very grateful to your country for this support. And we hope to continue collaborating with the U.S. government in trying to maintain the status of a medfly-free area.
When we return, Francis Fonseca says no worries about UDP opponents in Freetown.
The government of Belize has decided to mark October 12th as Indigenous Peoples Resistance Day. This has traditionally been celebrated as Columbus Day or Dia de las Americas. What does the change of name and the nature of the celebration mean for Belize? October 12th is a day to not only celebrate, but to recognize the unimaginable struggles and resistance of all our people, especially our Indigenous peoples, Garifuna, Mopan, Quechua, and Yucatec, against invasion, subjugation, and the consequential negative impacts of colonialism. As we recognize this resistance, we must also recognize our resilience against all forms of historic injustices. Today, our Garifuna, Mopan, Quechua, and Yucatec sisters and brothers are part of the Belizean family, adding diversity of languages, cultures, knowledge, and ways of living. However, the struggles of Indigenous people are far from over. As we know all too well, our Indigenous sisters and brothers continue to resist dispossession in an era of contemporary and subtler forms of colonialism. They continue to stand in defense of their lands, relationships, and ways of life, as they have always done. Their resistance ranges from legal struggles to language and cultural revitalization, and their struggles mirror the fight for positive development that all Belizeans engage in on a daily basis. Our government recognizes and respects the experiences of our indigenous peoples. It has been for this reason that our government has established the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs and the Office of the Commissioner of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, in order to have an institution dedicated to working with our indigenous peoples for their betterment and full involvement in the life of our nation. We recognize that it will take time to reverse centuries of colonial structures that have impacted all of us. Our government is therefore taking the necessary steps to accelerate our efforts in implementing the Caribbean Court of Justice Consent Order and in working with all our indigenous peoples at the national level on vital issues that are affecting them. Consequently, we engage all our indigenous sisters, brothers, and all Belizeans to join us and to work with us on this journey. I want to wish everyone, especially our indigenous people of Belize, a happy Indigenous Peoples Resistance Day.
Belizeans deserve a fast, dependable, high-quality internet service in their homes for online, virtual classes, and to work from home. It's the new way of life. Diginet is the #1 fiber service that is powering Belize's digital transformation. And now, this reliable fiber service is even more affordable with our new entry plan. For a limited time only, you and your family can enjoy 20 megabits per second of fiber service to your home for only $49 monthly. No more missed classes and interrupted meetings. It's costing you time and money. Diginet is better than cable and better than wireless. Visit a Digistore today to sign up for the best home internet service in Belize. Come see what you've been missing. Same high quality, fast, and reliable fiber service, now at an even lower price. For more information, visit livedigi.com/Diginet. Digi, our national telecom.
The United Democratic Party has named 2 persons who will vie for their Freetown constituency convention. They are current caretaker Orson Elrington and former 2-time Belize City Mayor Zenaida Moya. The victor of that round will go up against the incumbent current Minister of Education, Francis Fonseca, for the People's United Party. Today, the media got a chance to ask Fonseca for his views on this new development in the UDP and how it factors into his 5 consecutive wins in that area.
I hardly pay attention to what's going on in the UDP. It seems to be a complete meltdown taking place. It's very unfortunate for a party that has had great success. And as everyone has said, we need a strong opposition. In any democratic society, that's important. But I have never, I've ran 5 elections and won 5 elections. I've never focused on my opponents. I've always focused on my relationship with the Freetown community. And that's what I will continue to do. I don't pay attention at all to my opponents. I'm very, very comfortable, very happy with the strong relationship that I have enjoyed and continue to enjoy with the people of Freetown.
But while we were on the issue of politics, News 5 asked Fonseca for his views on the UDP's move to disbar his predecessor at the Ministry of Education for even qualifying as a standard bearer for the next general elections. Patrick Faber, who, like Fonseca, has won the last 5 elections in his Collet constituency, has held over for the highest office in the land, that of acting Prime Minister, when former Prime Minister Dean Barrow was away on other business. But his party's own nominations committee has rejected his application to run for the UDP in Collet in the next national elections. Its grounds for the rejection are described as Faber's failure to comply with the UDP's constitution when he went public to blast the party through Facebook posts. Today, Fonseca told us that while what is happening in the UDP is an internal occurrence, he feels that Faber has been disrespected.
It's not my place to interfere or comment on their affairs, but I will say that, you know, the Honorable Patrick Faber, I think, has been treated with a great deal of disrespect by his own colleagues. I know him, I consider him a friend. You know, and it's very unfortunate. I think it's a cautionary tale for all Belizeans if the leader of the UDP can treat a senior parliamentarian, a senior member of the United Democratic Party in the manner in which he has treated the Honorable Patrick Faber. Belizeans should take note of that. If you can treat him that way, imagine how he will behave if ever given the opportunity to hold power at the highest levels of our country.
Another current topic that will make for interesting news when it is completed is the redistricting exercise. Currently, there are 31 constituencies across the country, with boundaries that range from a few blocks, as in the case of Mesopotamia and Belize City, to several miles, as in the case of Stan Creek West. How many divisions will emerge from that exercise is anyone's guess, but what is certain is that existing standard bearers and serving area representatives stand to lose or gain voters, depending on where the new divisional lines are drawn. Fonseca, whose Freetown constituency in the 2020 general elections had 3,782 voters, said he'd rather not attempt to preempt the process or how Freetown would be affected at the completion.
That's an exercise being conducted by the Elections and Boundaries Commission. So that's an independent exercise, independent of the government. So we will have to wait and see what their analysis shows and their report that they will table. You know, and then we'll be able to discuss that properly.
Just ahead, La Fiesta del Pueblo celebrates 21st anniversary in Orange Walk.
Everything must come to an end. A much-needed vacation, or even a good book. What about the world? How will it end? Should we be worried about the end? Frightened even? What does the Bible actually say about the end? Tune in right here as we discuss the end.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the split the bill button where he selects the evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo Messi! What an incredible strike from Leo Messi! Neymar and Messi is standing over this. Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo
Great
Messi!
entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Hello eCash user, the eCash app is now available in Spanish. Changing the language in your eCash app from English to Spanish is quick and easy. Let me walk you through the steps. First, open your eCash app. Enter your PIN. Tap the More icon at the bottom of your screen. Choose Security. Select Language. Tap on Spanish. Then re-enter your PIN. And that's it. Your eCash app is now in Spanish, and you can continue to enjoy your eCash digital wallet. Belize Bank's eCash app makes life easier.
In November 2020, the sports community was rocked by the passing of Ian Mariano Sr. He was an exceptional basketball promoter and sports personality. He was featured in our newscasts on several occasions in his capacity as PR manager for the Belize Hurricanes and communications officer at the Belize City Council. Mariano also contributed to the development of the Inter-Office Basketball League, IBL, which has planned an all-star night in honor of him. IBL is partnering with Recinos Imports Limited to host the Ian Mariano All-Star Classic inside the Belize Civic Center on Friday night. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
This Friday night inside the Belize City Civic Center, a highly anticipated matchup in the National Elite Basketball League 2019 Championship between Mirage Smart Hurricanes and the San Pedro Tiger Sharks takes place. As the island team takes on the defending champions, the Hurricanes have been training and preparing for the showdown.
Man, what is happening here is what happens behind the scenes to help create that championship mentality, to ensure that we can deliver, what the city deserves, which is another win, which is what we need to do in order to secure the championship for 2019.
Basketball enthusiast and communications personnel Ian Mariano Sr. died of COVID-19 in November of 2020. His untimely passing sent shockwaves across the sporting community. His contribution to the promotion of basketball in Belize has been widely recognized, particularly his work with the National Elite Basketball League and the Inter-Office Basketball League.
I think I myself is still going through the processing part of it. It's unbelievable. There is no way how I could explain why my brother is not by my right side right now.
Winder Ellington is the director of the ongoing Belize Inter-Office Basketball League. He was also a longtime friend of Mariano and his partner in developing the IBL.
It's just tough. It's tough, and I think it will forever be tough whenever we come together as a unit now to promote basketball every year. So every year he is always the first person we talk about, and he keeps on. His name is in our thoughts. His name is in our mouth. So that's the first person we talk about before we start anything.
In his memory, the IBL will be hosting the Ian Mariano Sr. All-Star Classic on Friday night inside the Belize Civic Center. With the return of the league in 2022, following a pause due to COVID-19, The All-Star Night promises to be the highlight of the regular season.
It starts with the Boulevard Store Skills Challenge. No, the Skills Challenge is all about all the point guards coming together and competing against each other for within a certain time, and the person with the best time will be the person to be crowned the Skills Challenge winner. Then from thereafter, we have the 3-point shootout. Now the 3-point shootout is as spectacular as the Skill Challenge, because you find that like yourself, when you are at some of the game, you see whereby some of these 3-point shots help a team advance or win a game at the right time. Thereafter, not the first time, but one of the main event is the slam dunk, the prestige out-of-sale slam dunk. And I must say that the prestige out-of-sale slam dunk is something that the fans is going to enjoy, because the players that are in it, they showed what they needed to show in order for them to be in this slam dunk. After the slam dunk contest, we have the classic, the All-Star Classic. Clancy Lopez and Francis Arana being the two person who top the voting. They are both from St. Martin's areas. They are from basically the same area, but when it comes to being on the basketball court, either you respect me or I respect you, or we know I respect each other, because they have that game to bring to each other.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
San Jose Nuevo Palmar Village in Orange Walk District will come alive on Sunday for La Fiesta del Pueblo. This is the 21st year the community is hosting the event in recognition of the day the village was founded. It will begin with a mass and a brief opening ceremony. Following the formalities, visitors will be able to enjoy a day filled with cultural food, music, and dance. We spoke with the president of the Northern Maya Association of Belize, Arturo Cantun, one of several persons who helped to organize the event.
This Sunday, we're having La Fiesta del Pueblo, the 21st Fiesta del Pueblo in San Jose Nuevo Palmar, and it is to celebrate the anniversary of the founding of San Jose Nuevo Palmar. 86 years since the Yucatec community was founded. And also, we are using the opportunity to highlight, showcase the Yucatec Maya culture of Northern Belize. It's going to be a day full of activities. We're starting with a mass, and that is to celebrate the anniversary of the founding of San Jose Palmar. Immediately after, we start with a cultural parade starting from Liberty Avenue and ends at the Plaza Maximo Perez in San Jose Palmar. We have a short official opening ceremony, and then right after that, we jump into the live performances, dances and music and traditional games happening up until 6 in the evening. Throughout the course of the day, we're having food booths, exhibits. We're going to have artisan booths, cultural artisans who are going to be showcasing their products. So people will have an opportunity to walk to the booths and experience how these traditional meals are prepared, like chimole, like the corn tortillas, the atole, the pibil. They're going to be able to join in preparing these meals and, of course, buy themselves a plate of food and enjoy with the family. It's going to be a day educational, informational, and entertainment for the entire family.
Birders across the country are invited to come out this weekend to participate in Urban Birdwatch 2022. The Belize Audubon Society has organized an event for October 8 at the Market Plaza in Orange Walk, October 16th at the BAS headquarters here in Belize City, and the Market Square in Belmopan, and at the Triangle Park in Independence on October 22nd. News 5 spoke with Miguel Shaw, Environmental Education Officer at the Audubon.
This weekend we're having the Orange Walk Urban Bird Watch, and it's an annual event that is held by Belize Audubon Society to bring awareness to migratory birds in Belize. So it's a citizen science where Belizeans, either experts or beginners, can come out and get to know the feather friends that are in their backyard. It's not only Orange Walk that is having the event. We also have in Belize City. So Belize City's Urban Birdwatch will be on October 16th, 2022, and then there's Belmopan will be held in the same day as well. And then on the 22nd, we have an Urban Birdwatch for Independence. And this event will start at 6 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock, so it's not an entire day event. Belizeans can figure out the species of migratory birds that pass through Belize or stop in Belize, and while they're doing their migration, they either just stay here or they continue their journey farther down south. And with Belize being an important place for them to stop and just gather food if they go farther down south, bringing awareness to the threats that they face is something that can help these birds, survive their migration so that they can reach to where they're going, and then the same will happen when they're flying back to North America.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.